What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Miss Azrael's Gaming. So we're going to jump back into Choices, Stories You Play, and we are going to play the next episode of TerrorFest. If you remember in the last one, we were kind of almost arrested for the murder of, is it Alan? Is that his name? For Alan. And, but we were able to sneak in using Diamond's Choices. We were able to sneak in and get some more information and found out that Stabby Joe's DNA was on, under our fingernails. Yeah, so there's no way he's still alive because that was over, what they say, a century ago. Yeah, so let's go ahead and hop back in. Okay, so Chapter 4, Kill Your Darlings. After spending hours at the police station, you finally make it home, but as your house comes into view, you're greeted by the sight of dozens of reporters parked on your lawn. Tragedy struck late last night when a young man died at a local TerrorFest party. Officials have no comment as to the cause of death. But his last known location is no stranger to foul play, previously the home of notorious killer Stabby Joe. Damn it. I was hoping the press would wait until daylight to come sniffing around. Maybe if I stick to the shadows, I'll be able to slip around back. You back away, making sure to move as slowly as you can until you feel someone's warm breath coat the back of your neck. Going somewhere, Azrael? I should fling an elbow at them, stay calm, scream. Let's stay calm. You go stock still as you draw a shaky breath. Are you going to kill me? I had every opportunity to before you noticed me. If I wanted to kill you, don't you think I would have? Amusement drips from their every word, making your blood boil, and as you whip around, you come face to face with a woman and her smug smile. Boo. Well, if you're not here to kill me, then who the hell are you? Keep your voice down, unless you want them all to know you're here. She nods towards the press pool, and you survey the masses swarming your house, all in the hunt for a gruesome exclusive. When your eyes land on her again, she raises her eyebrows to you in a question, and you heave a sigh to steady yourself. Who are you, and how do you know my name? I'm Bex St. Regis with the Morelic Chronicle, and who doesn't know the Carpenters and their history on this island? Which is why, when I heard there was a dead body on your estate, I just had to come and get the scoop for myself. There is no scoop. Sorry, so sorry to disappoint. Then you shouldn't mind answering a question for me. No comment. But as you shoulder past her and into the woods to creep stealthily to your backyard, Bex calls after you. Was there really a murderer, Azrael, or did you kill Alan yourself? The question stops you in your tracks as you consider her words. I don't recall anyone publicly saying Alan's death was a murder. In fact, the cops have gone out of their way to make it clear the cause of death is unknown. So, what makes you think I killed him? Who's your source? I'm gonna go with who's your source. You turn to fix Bex with a glare. Because you have to be getting the information from somewhere. Who told you? I have my ways. In fact, I know a lot more than people think. For instance, she slings a bag from her back and digs through it before pulling out a series of multicolored file folders and shoving them in your hands. I've been looking into the deaths on the island the past few months, and there have been some things that just don't add up. My theory is that these were our killer's first victims. You rifle through the folders until one in particular catches your eye. Anne Baumgartner. Wait a minute. I know her. This is Mrs. Baumgartner. She was my high school English teacher. What happened to her? If you ask me or any of the witnesses, she was attacked in the high school. Paramedics find her lying in a puddle of her own blood. She nods to a file and you open it to find graphic photos of the hallway drenched in blood and water. This seems like pretty solid evidence to me. Who doesn't believe she was attacked? Detective Porter. He was on duty that night but barely glanced at the scene, then declined to write a report. I got this from my EMT friend. It sounds crazy, but I think the mayor's been forcing entities that report to her to stage cover-ups of these less prominent deaths for months. Immediately, your thoughts go to the memo from the mayor you found at the station. This sounds exactly like what's going on with Alan's death, but what would the mayor gain from keeping it quiet? When your thoughts come back to reality, you find Beck studying your face, and you hastily look away, but not quickly enough. I'm right, aren't I? I don't know anything for sure. The look on your face right now says that's a lie, and the only way you can know for sure is if you had undeniable proof, like... For a moment, Bex trails off, her thoughts working overtime behind her beady eyes. Then she gasps. Huh? You saw something, didn't you? I don't know what you're... Before you can finish the sentence, Bex steps closer, her expression going grim. Don't lie to me, Azrael. I always find out the truth, so it's better to start there. What do you know? This lady is scarily accurate. I don't want to give away too much, but maybe talking a little will give me access to what she knows. I should spill the beans, stay silent. I don't think we should spill the beans outright. I'm assuming we want to stay silent, and maybe she'll give us a little bit more, kind of like, what was it, Zier said? Let's go with silent. Pivotal choice made. A fate has been sealed. Ooh, maybe that's not a good thing. I was pretty clear before when I said no comment. I don't talk to the press. You've got to give me something. If not for me, then for Alan. How does talking to you help him? The more information we gather, the sooner we can crack this thing wide open and bring his killer to justice. Not to mention clear your name. Detective Porter can be like a dog with a bone when he thinks he has a hunch. Well, why don't you just take a look at the files I brought? Maybe something in there will jog your memory and we can chat a bit. Your eyes drift to the bag at her feet. This is the perfect chance to put my new profiling skills to the test. And nothing tells more about a murderer than their first kills. Okay, read through Beck's files to boost your fortitude score and build a profile of the killer. Okay, so we're definitely doing that. So do a deep dive on the files. You've got my attention. Fine, but not here. You get me inside safe and sound, then I'll look at the files. Consider it done. Together you and Beck sneak around the back of the house and slip in through the side door, only to be greeted by a mess of caution tape. Immediately, your eyes go to where Alan's body once lay. I can't believe he's really gone. Yes, very sad. Thoughts and prayers. Now, if you don't mind, we've got a lot to go through and not much time left. Bex grabs you by the arm and ushers you over to the couch before reaching into her bag and pulling out the stack of files. Now, I believe the first murder happened in March, but it's a little difficult to be sure because the murder weapon changes. She grabs two different files and extends them both to you. Wow, there's so much here. I'm not sure where to start. I guess I'll take a look at the first victim, look into the weapon shift. Let's look into the weapon shift. You ease the file out of her hand and open it to a picture of a middle-aged man. Grant Scott, husband and father of two. Something tells me he didn't have a lot of enemies. No, but you'd never know it with how brutal this one was. He was found dead on the edge of the woods, a mile from his family's vacation home. Cause of death, blood loss due to animal attack. But there hasn't been so much as a possum sighting here on the island since the 90s. But he was covered in cuts and slashes, so the ME signed off without doing a full autopsy, citing the family's need to get his body home. That just feels negligent. I mean, the slashes on earlier victims look jagged, like the killer used a blunt tool, but these are clearly knife wounds. You flip through files of earlier victims, but none of them are this vicious, and when you look back at the photos of Grant, you notice each cut seems deeper than the last. It's almost like someone was experimenting and enjoying themselves. How could anyone allow this to go unchecked? My point exactly. Civil servants sworn to uphold our society are casually shirking their responsibilities, not just once, but dozens of times. I know you don't like me, but aside from the cops, you're the next best residential expert on killers, so I'm asking on behalf of all the victims. What do you think of all this? She gestures to the stacks of files surrounding you both and you sigh. Well, a killer's weapon of choice often tells the most about who they are mentally. Grant and every victim after being stabbed says the killer likes to be up close and personal. They're They're likely stalking their victims because they see something in each of them that triggers them. Maybe it's their hope or optimism, but whatever it is, it inspires a lot of rage. The hairs on the back of your neck stand up as memories of the killer threatens to overwhelm you, and as you fight back against your fear, a familiar face catches your eye. Dr. Kavya Santhrakumar. I think I know her. Wasn't she the one who led that huge push for free healthcare on the island a couple of years ago? Yeah, she got it too. Saved countless lives. She was a great person. Too great, unfortunately. What do you mean? I got fed up, Azrael. Victim after victim with no justice in sight drove me crazy, so I went down to the precinct and demanded to know why no one was investigating. When I showed her picture, Detective Porter practically laughed me out of the station. She adopts the detective's trademark sneer and pitches her voice to mimic his. You expect me to believe someone murdered the only doctor on the island who doesn't charge a copay? Lady, don't make me laugh. Yeah, Detective Porter can be a little short-sighted, but he's got a point. Excuse me? I'm not saying you're wrong, just that there's still a lot we don't know for sure. Like? What if all these victims don't belong to one killer, your accusations get back to the killer? I mean, accusations getting back to the killer could be dangerous for her. But all the people have died, it doesn't necessarily mean they're all victims of the same killer, as, you know, the MO did change. They changed how their murder weapon, so that just could mean it was a copycat of, like, the first one. Or it could be a completely different person. Let's go with the top one. Okay, so take these for example. Your research brain at work, you point out two separate files before dragging them across the coffee table and into Bex's line of view. These deaths happen within 10 minutes of each other, even though they're in two completely different locations. Unless her killer has invented a way to get from one side of the island to the other in record time, we may be dealing with a team. I hadn't thought of that, but it would definitely explain the shift in murder weapon. Do you really think that's a possibility? I don't know, but one thing's for sure, the killer's de-evolving. You rifle through the files, laying them out in chronological order like a bloody timeline. The attack on Mrs. Baumgartner was planned strategic, but gradually, each kill gets sloppier until, in Alan's murder, they're left to witness. And that mistake is going to be their downfall. Even if the killer is someone you know and love? What are you talking about? Bex pulls out another folder from her bag and hands it to you. You flip it open to find a slew of text messages sent between two phone numbers, and though you don't know the first one, you do recognize the other. Wait, these are Destiny's texts. How did you get these? Boring. Ask me who she was texting instead. Better yet, I'll just tell you. Bex slaps a photo of a young woman down on your coffee table before shoving it in your direction with her fingertips. The other number belongs to Angie Davis, one of your sister's influencer friends. So, they filmed together not too long ago. They had a falling out in those very texts, and Angie was found dead a few days later. At once, your time in the woods with your sister comes back to you and you shudder. The woods does seem to be a common theme with this killer, and I already thought Des was up to something. But could she have killed all of these people? Shocked, you stare down at the photo of the girl before you taking in her smiling face. It is suspicious, and I think there's something you should know, but don't you think it's a little convenient? I mean, she has given us quite a bit of information, so I'm gonna go with I think there's something you should know. Okay, earlier tonight, Destiny took me out into the middle of the woods, and when I tried to get away, she threw a fit. I've never seen her jump to anger that quickly. She does match the profile. Young, easily targeted, or easily triggered, and didn't she switch to online courses when your father passed? Yeah, as a matter of fact, she insisted. Said someone needed to stay on the island to keep an eye on the house. You don't say. You look up from the photo to find Bex clutching a recorder in her greedy fist, the little green light on and steady. Bitch. Ah, come on. What are you doing? In the know, you got the inside scoop from Bex. Look, if I'm right, then not only is a descendant of Stabby Joe recreating his legacy, but the mayor's been using her power to cover it up and better her chances in the election. This is going to be one hell of a scoop. You don't know for sure it's the mayor. You don't even have any proof. Yet, but I will, just as soon as you stop holding out on me. Bex pushes the recorder even closer, and as you eye it, you feel your blood boil. You know, for someone who needs my help, you've been nothing but a raging pain in the ass. What happens if I say no? Oh, kid, you were always going to help me, even if that just means slowing down my competition. Before you can stop her, Bex rushes to the front door and throws it open before whistling to the reporters on your lawn. I found the carpenter kid. She's in here. Hey! As Bex makes her escape, you hurry to slam the door closed, but in seconds, news reporters surge forward and wedge themselves into the doorway. Azrael, do you have a comment about the incident tonight? A banging at the back door sets your nerves on edge, and as you catch one final glimpse of Bex slipping smugly away into the crowd, grim acceptance sets in. There's no way I can stay here tonight. As you struggle to hold off Satan's paparazzi, you pull out your phone and shoot off a quick text to the group chat. TBT in the study, bring your ass. SOS, house swarmed with reporters and need a space to crash. Help. Staying with Unky while I'm home, so I gotta ask her first. But it should be cool. Might be Yunsi? Maybe it was Yunsi. Sorry, she said nobody in or out because of the... what is that? Dagger, death, hashtag RIP-A. Did you just emojify a murder? What? I said RIP. Can we focus here? I'm still at the station waiting to be questioned, or you could totally come over. I'm no Motel 6, but I can leave the light on for you. Bring your ass. I'm no Motel 6, but I can leave the light on. That's funny. You make a run for it and manage to make it to Lucky's house, your eyes fixed behind you on the hunt for anyone who may have followed. But when you turn, you find Destiny's perched on the steps, the porch light at her back casting shadows on her face. Looking for someone, Azrael? Damn it, Des. What are you doing here? I invited her. The front door swings open and Lucky appears, looking back and forth between the two of you. You said the house was swarmed, and if it's not safe for you, it won't be safe for her either. Lucky, there's something you should know. I am not going in there with her. I'm gonna warn her. Before you invite her inside, I think you should hear about what happened between us earlier. This again? I told you I was trying to help you. Then why are you so against anyone else knowing exactly what went down? Face it, you're not getting in until you tell the whole truth. Whoa, last I checked this was my house, and I'm not leaving anyone outside with a murderer on the loose. Now both of you get in here. But... now. Before you can say another word, Lucky grabs you both and hauls you inside. Almost as soon as you step inside, you notice how quiet it is. Where is everyone? I don't think I've ever walked in and not had 15 minutes long conversation with your mom first. She and my sister caught a ferry back to the mainland to visit my tia. It's just us tonight. Brusquely, she moves past the two of you and makes a break for the freezer before pulling out a box. Pizza okay for dinner? Definitely. I'm starving. Cut me 2 slices. Destiny camps out at the island, kicking her feet up and whipping out her cell, only for you to snatch it away and slam it down. What she means to say is, can we help with anything? I'm sorry, I thought you were scared of me. Now all of a sudden you're playing a big and bad? Which is it? You guys. No, it's time we get to the bottom of this once and for all. Azrael, what the hell is your problem? My problem is that you're a serial killing psychopath. Wait, what? Oh my god, you have officially lost it. I know about all the other victims, okay? That influencer you fought with who died a few days later, not to mention Alan? Just admit it. You watch as rage of emotions cross your sister's face until finally she heaves out a sigh. Azrael, I don't know how the hell we got here, but I am not a killer. And even if I was, I'd never kill you. You're the only family I have. Fat lot of good that does me. You went out of your way to plan a party just so you could embarrass me. Why else would you tell everyone I was a pathetic virgin pining after a guy I hadn't even seen in years? Is that what this is about? Payback? Azrael, I was genuinely trying to help you. You work so hard, I thought you might enjoy a nice night of not being wanted. I never wanted to hurt you. I know we haven't always gotten along, but with Dad gone, we're all we have left. She extends her arms to you, pulling you into an awkward hug, and as her arms envelop you, you still. We have to stick together, which means you can't go around calling me a killer just because you're mad at me. Over her shoulder, Lucky catches your gaze. It sounds like you two need a fresh start, and now's as good a time as any. Azrael, what do you say? Your thoughts race, and the room around you falls silent. You focus your attention on your sister. Destiny, I am sorry, called you a killer because I think you are one. Oh, man. I don't know. I feel like she could be involved, but then I also feel like it's too obvious. And it might be a good idea to keep on her good side, so we'll just say we're sorry. It's possible I misread things. Today has just been so confusing and stressful. For the first time in a long time, you wrap your arms around your sister and she tightens her grip. Yeah, that's like the understatement of a century. But I promise, all of this will be just fine, you'll see. Suddenly, a loud banging rings through the house and you jump. What was that? The back door. What should we do? For a moment, the three of you sit there, frozen with fear. When it sounds again, Lucky eases towards it and you feel your chest tighten. Lucky, what are you doing? Somebody's got to answer it. What if it's the killer? Then now's the perfect time to get them before they can get us. She forms two meaty fists and inches closer. I should go with Lucky to investigate the strange noise, or do literally anything but that. I'm gonna go with Lucky. We'll be brave. Wait up, I'm coming with you. Am I the only one in the house with any common sense? Don't either one of you watch scary movies? Yeah, and the killer hardly ever knocks in any of them. And even if this is the exception, I'm not letting her face them alone. Thanks, Azrael. You grab a knife from the chopping block before flanking her, and as Lucky reaches for the knob, you count her down. 3, 2, 1, now. Ah! The back door flies open, sending your heart into your chest. Damn, you guys should see the looks on your faces. Only for Coda, Zaire, and Tyson to come through the doorway. Oh, thank God it's you guys. In hindsight, banging on the door in the middle of the night after finding a dead body probably wasn't our smartest move. We didn't mean to scare you, we just didn't want to be alone either. Don't sweat it, you guys can come on in, and I'll put in another pizza. Late night dinner in hand, you, Destiny, Lucky, Tyson, Zaire, and Coda all retreat up to Lucky's room, glad to finally be alone as a group again. So, tonight's gonna take like years of therapy to get over, huh? Oh, absolutely. My girl Jess has got her work cut out for her on this one. Honestly, I don't think it's fully even hit me yet. I mean, we saw a dead body tonight. A moment of silence settles over you as all the memories of Alan's mutilated corpse comes back to you. Then, you know, they say the only way to get past it is with the hair of the dog that bit you. That's alcohol. The best way to get past trauma is actually a round of Tetris. Yeah, but my way is more fun. Plus, I happen to have one hell of an ankle biter right here. Coda reaches into his bag and pulls out a VHS tape before holding it out for everyone to see. How is that supposed to help exactly? Whoever attacked you and killed Alan is clearly being inspired by Stabby Joe, and this version is his origin story. Catching up on his lore could help crack the case, so what do we think? Should we watch? Watch the snippet of the legend of Stabby Joe to get more info about the legend of the killer. The killer is emulating. Be sure to tune in to all the Stabby Joe lore for a massive boost to your fortitude score. Okay, so we get multiples of it. Interesting. Okay, so watch Stabby Joe's origin story. So let's fire it up. I like how they always smile when you pick it. I'm already not going to get any sleep tonight, so what the hell? Sweet, get ready to get scared. Coda loads the movie into Lucky's ancient VHS player, and in no time the opening credits roll as a young guard steps into the frame. Now playing is Maloric Island Penitentiary prison guard Tommy Danes. As the visiting hours dwindle, you signal the other guards to round up the prisoners and return them to their cells before turning to the guests. Attention visitors, we must now ask you to leave. Please say your goodbyes and make your way to the exit. I believe that's my cue. Nearby, a young woman stands dabbing her eyes with a handkerchief, and as you peer past her, you see the penitentiary's notorious new prisoner. Remember what I said. He caresses the woman's chin with filthy fingers, directing her gaze staunchly at him. You are mine. Always. She's been in here to visit Stabby Joe every week. There's no way she knows all of what he's done. I have to say something. She sniffles as she passes you, fresh tears falling, and without thinking, you follow. Excuse me, ma'am? I know, visiting hours is over. I'm leaving. No, I just wanted to say, you should walk out of here and never look back. If you're in trouble, I can help you. Let's go with that one. I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't understand. Clearly he's tricked you or is otherwise controlling you for you to be so devoted. You creep closer, lowering your voice, and the woman takes a hasty step back, her gaze locked over your shoulder. I don't know what line he sold you. You're right, you don't know. You don't know me, and you certainly don't know Joseph well enough to pass any sort of judgment. My apologies, I only wanted to look out for you. The only thing I need you looking at is my back. The door, sir. Of course. As the woman leaves, you turn to help lock down the prisoners for the night and find Stabby Joe staring at you as he is led to his feet by a guard. He purses his lips, letting out a chipper tone, and as you draw nearer, Stabby Joe tugs against the pole of his chaperone, slowing next to you. If I didn't know any better, I'd say you're sweet on my girl, Tommy. It's Officer Danes to you, Campbell. Now, officer, as you were. The guard leading him nods and gives Stabby Joe a vicious yank, but Stabby Joe holds his ground, his stare burning a hole right through you. You're gonna regret even looking at her. Excuse me? But the guard leads the prisoner away, his laughter echoing through the halls and burrowing into your head. Later that night, you go out alone for night rounds, lazily shining the beam of your flashlight across the cells. Come on, Tommy. Last set of rounds and then it'll be dawn and you'll be a free man. But as you work your way closer to Stabby Joe's cell, your heart starts to race. Oh, don't be such a wuss. He's locked down just like every other prisoner. He can't hurt you from behind. But as you shine your light into Stabby Joe's cell, the beam lands on an empty cot, the blankets barely ruffled. Bars. Before you can compute what's happened, a whistle echoes through the hall. Oh no. Oh yes, Danes, I told you you'd pay. The whispered voice is enough to make you dash for the safety of the officer's lounge, but as you reach it, the door bangs shut, limiting your choices. I can try to make it to the door at the other end of the hallway, but there's a laundry chute that's a little closer. I should make a run for the door or the laundry chute. Oh my god, I'm gonna get this guy killed. I'm like the teacher. I'm pretty sure they die regardless. Should he try? I mean, he's gonna die if he goes down the laundry chute. I don't know. Should I try the laundry chute? Let's try it. Let's go for the laundry chute. You rush for the laundry chute, throwing yourself on the handle and yanking it open. Please let there be something soft down there. Without another thought, you dive down into the chute, using your feet to push past the door. Thank God I'm saved. Until someone grabs your ankles, hauling you back the way you came. No! Let go of me! You claw at the smooth metal walls of the chute, but the force pulling you up is too strong, and you dumped unceremoniously onto the floor of the prison. Did you really think you could hide from me, Tommy boy? You have to know you can't escape me. Show yourself, Campbell. Come out into the light and face me like a man. I've never been a fan of the light, but the dark. The hallway lights flicker, then go out completely. Where are all the guards during this? Like, seriously, how is he the only one there? Son of a... You fumble for your flashlight, then freeze as you see a shadowy silhouette coming towards you down the hallway. The dark is where I come out to play. What do you want with me, Campbell? All of this, it can't be about the girl. It's about what she represents, my time outside of these walls. And every time you scare her, my chances of returning to someone dim. You're never getting out. You're a menace to society, and I won't let you hurt the good people of Morelic Island. Let? There is no let. Even in the darkness, you notice the emergence of a dull knife clearly stolen from the kitchen. I'm going to do what I want, and you're going to be powerless to stop me. Joseph, you don't want to do this. Don't make me hurt you. Let's go with you don't want to do this. I mean, it's not... Neither answer is going to matter, to be honest. Think of your girl. She believes in you. Just let me take you back to your cell. No one needs to get hurt. As he gets closer, you see the glint of his toothy sneer through the dark. Oh, yes, you do. No, no, no! Joseph moves impossibly fast, lunging towards you and striking at your face. Slice of life, you learn more of the legend of Stabby Joe. Ah! The blade carves its way down your cheek, tearing the flesh there, and you stumble back, pressing a hand to the cut. Prisoner breach in Sector 4. I need immediate assistance. You regain your balance and quickly reach for your nightstick, but it's too late. Stabby Joe is nowhere to be found. You'll pay for this, Campbell. Oh, well, I didn't kill him. You grab the remote from Coda's hand and turn off the TV. I think that's enough of that. After the night I've had, the last thing I need to think about is being slashed by a crazed maniac. Real or long dead. Don't worry, Azrael. You should be safe no matter what happens. After all, virgins hardly ever die in horror movies. Haha, very funny. Make more jokes at my expense, please. I'm serious. Getting busy in spooky situations is like the easiest way to summon a killer. You've heard of the bat signal? Now meet the boner signal. Coda contorts his hand to make a lewd shadow puppet on the wall, and Lucky swats him. Oral, are you forgetting some of us don't need a boner to get busy? No, but I figured you could guess what that signal, guess what that signal would look like. I call bullshit. The bimbos always die early in those movies. A lady never kisses and tells, but let's just say I'm living proof getting your rocks off isn't the cardinal sin you think it is. Plus, if we're going based off of tropes, how the hell am I still alive? I'm black and non-binary. Not exactly a winning horror movie combo. Nah, no self-respecting writer would kill you this early in 2024. My money's on you not kicking the bucket until at least the last 10 minutes. Gee, thanks. Coda, you've got a lot to say about everyone else. What's your trope? It's no fun if I tell you. Why don't you guess? He leans back on Lucky's mattress, his eyes locked on you in a clear challenge. Easy, you're the harbinger of impending doom, the skeptic. I feel like he's the skeptic because he's the movie guy, so he can, have an answer to everything. Although that could be Tyler more. Maybe Tyler's more the skeptic, but we'll go with skeptic. At every turn, there you are, insisting nothing's actually happening. Meanwhile, nothing is lying in wait to make its next move. Classic Coda. Hey, it beats being the cop. That poor SOB is not long for horror movie world, let me tell you. Well, I think it's safe to say that as the obvious nerd of this group, I'm safe for a while. If this were so, some years ago maybe, but now that you're part of the gun show, not a chance. What? No way. As the six of you playfully argue about your tropes, you start to feel yourself fall back at ease, and though Alan's death is never far from your mind, you can't help the feeling of comfort that surrounds you in the form of your friends. Alright, as much fun as this is, I've had enough horror and death for one day. Why don't we call it a night? I guess I'm a little beat. Feel free to crash anywhere. I've got a few chores I need to finish, but you guys can just make yourselves at home. As she stands and collects the dishes from your dinner, Tyson swoops in to grab them. You cooked. Leave the dishes to me. Well, aren't you a proper gentleman? Thanks for taking one for the team. As Coda claps Tyson on the back and rifles through his bag for a toothbrush, you roll your eyes. You're supposed to offer help, Coda. I'm getting ready for bed. Besides, no one else did. As a matter of fact, Zaire is practically halfway out the door. You turn to find a sheepish... I don't know if it's Zaire or Zaire. I think it's Zaire, with one foot already in the hallway. I've got to meet my mom for a campaign thing. This late? Duty calls, sorry. Oh, that does seem odd, doesn't it? Lucky, Tyson, Zaire, and Coda all file out of the room until you're left with only Destiny. Silence falls, and then... So, about earlier, can we just put all of that behind us and start over from scratch? You mean a clean slate where we act like actual siblings and give each other the benefit of the doubt? I mean a world where neither of us tries to meddle or one-up the other for kicks and giggles. You look at your sister, and for the first time in years, you see the girl she was long before she was your bitter childhood rival, reflected back in a woman you can't wait to get to know. One where I don't mind coming home because I know my sister will be there to welcome me with open arms. Deal. She crushes you into a hug, and you relish the feeling. I missed you, you know, and there's so much I want to talk to you about. Why don't we get ready for bed, and then we can just sit up all night catching up? Before the words are fully out of your mouth, her phone vibrates, and one look at it tanks her smile. Tell you what, give me a minute to handle this, and I'm all yours. Of course, I'll just go see what everyone else is up to. By the time you reach the doorway, her attention is locked on her phone, thumbs poised above the screen as she thinks over the message. You sigh. Now's a good time as any to get in a one-on-one with someone, but who? Noises throughout the house remind you of your friend's presence, running water in the bathroom, the slam of the front door, the clink of dishes in the sink, and the rumble of a dryer. Who do you go see? I'm gonna go see Tyler. I like Tyler a lot, so maybe we can, or it's Tyson. I keep calling him Tyler. Tyson. Maybe we can help him with the dishes. The sounds of dishes being washed brings you comfort, and you follow the sound into the kitchen where you find Tyson elbow deep in suds. Need a hand? Love one. I'll wash, you rinse. You squeeze in next to him in front of the small sink and commandeer the spray nozzle, the two of you falling into a quiet rhythm. At the risk of beating a dead horse, I'm happy you're home. Even if home's a little crazy right now? We grew up on an island where the inhabitants celebrate a murderer annually. When has home ever not been crazy? Weirdly, whenever I'm with you, somehow you manage to be the lone point of stability on this whole floating rock. Next to you, Tyson stills, his eyebrows bunching. Are you calling me boring? No, I'm calling you normal. I mean, we're doing dishes, for crying out loud. It doesn't get more conventional than that. You're totally calling me boring. I am not boring. He whips around to face you and gives the sudsy water a smack, sending it splashing in your direction. Did you just splash me? Maybe. How's that for conventional? Without hesitation, you squeeze the spray nozzle at him, and in seconds things devolve into a full-blown water war. Take that! Oh my god, it's getting everywhere. Tyson makes a grab for the nozzle, but gets your wrist instead, his heat warming your damp skin. Rather than let go, he uses his grasp to pull you into his chest before wrenching the sprayer out of your hand. You know, non-boring people don't usually concern themselves with making a mess. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Tyson rakes a hand through his soaked hair, and as droplets run down his face, you look up at him, his eyes lingering on yours before drifting to your lips. I should lean in or pull back? Oh, we were leaning in 100%. You take a shaky breath as your eyes sink closed, leaning into to graze his lips in a kiss, but Tyson's hand on your arm stops you. Azrael, I'm sorry, I can't. What? Rude. As he trails off, your eyes shoot open, warmth flowing through you. No, I'm sorry. Clearly, I got my wires crossed. As you start to move away, Tyson reaches out, his hand grazing your hip tenderly. No, I mean, I want to, I just can't. Destiny made us promise back in high school that we wouldn't get romantically involved with anyone in the group. After everything we've been through tonight, it just seems wrong to break that promise on top of it all. I knew about that rule, I just never knew you considered me one of you guys. Well, who else would you be? His smile locks onto you, its warmth filling you even as he steps away. I think I'm going to go get ready for bed, but thanks for your help. Anytime. Oh, that's a letdown. As he leaves, you sigh and take a look around at the sopping wet floor. Well, it's not like I can leave it like this. I wonder where Mrs. Alvarez keeps them up. Quietly, you traipse back through the house and head for Lucky's room, noticing the door has been nearly closed. A single beam from the side lamp, the only light. Don't tell me Destiny went to sleep already. You grab the handle, easing the door open the rest of the way. Uh-oh. And immediately your eyes catch the glint of a bloody knife being raised. Ah! Why did they have somebody do that? As you watch, the killer plunges the knife down again, piercing an already crumpled and bleeding body. But it's not until the killer turns their masked face towards you that you see their latest victim. Azrael, run! Oh my god, it's not her sister after all. Unless she is working with somebody and they're cutting her out. Wow, that ended in a way I was not expecting. I was honestly expecting Destiny to be involved with that. Definitely not what I thought. Okay, so Chapter 5 is going to be Mayday Parade. After a harrowing escape, you get proof that changes everything. Oh, wow. That's definitely a really good cliffhanger because they lead you to believe that it's your sister or your sister's involved and now she's being attacked. So she probably isn't really involved, or she is, and like I said, her partner's Xing her out because she's becoming a liability. Really makes you wonder. I hope you guys enjoyed TerrorFest. Please leave me a comment down below letting me know what you think is going on. Who do you think Stabby Joe is? Is it one of our friends? Is it somebody we haven't come across yet? I mean, I don't know. I don't know who it could be. I was leaning towards her sister, but now I'm starting to think it wasn't her. But like I said, I hope you enjoyed. Please leave me a like, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you next time. Bye.